the hip-hop gamer show. What it is, hip-hop gamer show.
Yo, yo, what's up? It's the one and only hip-hop gamer, Hot 97 GameStop. We doing it big here at PAX EAST 2015 in cold-ass Boston right now, so I'm very cold. So I got my man Todd with me, right? And we're going to talk about Smite on the Xbox One. Seriously. So first off, I didn't get a chance to play it yet. I want to play it, but kind of give us a walkthrough on what's the performance like on the Xbox One and how important this game being on Xbox One is.
Oh, it's huge, man. So Smite released in March on PC. You know, it's a MOBA, which is actually like the world's most popular genre, but never on console. It's always been a PC thing.
Yeah.
So we're pretty psyched we get to bring it to Xbox One. So, you know, it works really well with the controller. That's what makes Smite different about the other games like League of Legends, Dota 2, where you click on the map. With Smite, it's all about you directly controlling your god, right? With the stick, your abilities mapped to the faceplace buttons. You're about to play it. It works really well. You're going to see the performance has been great. You basically see Smite equivalent to the highest graphical settings on the PC. It over to Xbox One, so it's going to be a real nice experience.
Now, one of the things that, and my boy Carl Critical, I was saying the same thing. I prefer Smite over League of Legends simply because of that reason, that I have more control over what's going on in terms of the action. But because you have that, that particular control, what are you able to do from a gameplay standpoint that you couldn't do before that no other motor is giving you?
Yeah, you're right. I mean, it changes everything. It started with the third-person camera behind your god, but based on that, there's a bunch of different mechanics. So number one, aiming and dodging, right? So in Smite, it's not like I tab target you. If I'm playing an archer, every one of my ranged attacks is aimed, so I actually have to time it. So I'm looking at your movement and I'm hitting you. If I'm a melee guy up front, again, I don't just tab target you. I got to orient my guy, so I've got a cone of attack. The other key thing is ganking. So in those other games, they use fog of war maybe to disguise when you're sneaking up on the enemy. But in Smite, it's just your peripheral vision. I can't see behind me. So when you come up as a mirror, the frost giant, you freeze me. I don't even know. I'm just frozen, then I turn around, then I'm seeing you. And in Smite, we also take advantage of 3D spaces a lot. So Thor was the first character that we do that. Thor, you can gank not only from behind, but up above. His ult takes him out of the map, he gets a bird's eye view, and then he comes crashing down from the sky, stun locks the guys. So we really take advantage of that 3D space. So those are some of the key mechanics that make it different from some of the other MOBAs out there that are more like real-time strategy games.
Now, where do you think Smite will go in the next year or two? And the reason, what I mean by that is, I love seeing character licensing. You know what I'm saying? And I love seeing like companies collaborate and do things that we never seen before. Do you think we'll see like the way Smite is designed? Can we see like an entire Marvel game designed like how Smite is in that world, or just things like that? Because I think with the way this is and how you mentioned Thor, I could see like this shit will be crazy. Like, you know what I'm saying? So what are your thoughts on that? Is that a possibility?
Anything's a possibility, but I think the key thing with the theming in Smite is it's basically gods and goddesses from mythology. So there is overlap with Marvel, because in the Avengers, and you see Thor, you see Odin, you see Loki. All those characters are in Smite because they all came from Norse mythology. So we have that in common. So the main way we'll look to cooperate with other IPs is probably less playable characters, unless they're gods or goddesses, but skins. So in Smite, you can get a costume because it's free to play, right? So the way that we make money is basically people buying cosmetics. It doesn't change the gameplay, but if you want to not just play Thor, you want to play heavy metal Thor and deck yourself out like that, you can do that, right? So that's probably the main way we'll look to cooperate with other brands if they, if they're interested in that, is not necessarily a character, but a skin or a costume for a character.
All right, now in terms of what you mentioned with the differences between League of Legends and Smite, do you think that if Smite catches on in terms of being bigger than League of Legends, do you think League of Legends will adopt what Smite is doing? Because to me, I feel that's the difference between catering to the core only and the difference between expanding to the people that probably wouldn't have jumped in the first place.
Yeah, it's a good question, man. I don't think they're going to change. They got a good thing going. It's working for them just fine, and they've got a huge community, which is great. But there's two important things. One is it's just a different feel. Some people like playing real-time strategy, and that's fine, but not everybody does. If you come from an action action game background or a shooter background, the controls of Smite are going to appeal to you.
Yes.
So it's actually growing the whole base. And then the other thing is being able to play on a console, because some other MOBA games with those controls, they've tried to bring it to console, but the controller just doesn't feel as comfortable. You know, you expect to directly control your guy when you got that Xbox controller in your hand. So for us also, it helps make it more mainstream, honestly, because some people that never got into it before, when you put a controller in their hand and they just play it like an action game, they just get to go in there and beat up stuff, they're going to get it. They're going to get it. So,
like right off the bat. So now check this out, right? Now from a story standpoint, I never understood what the story was about, because every time I seen Smite, I just saw a whole bunch of killing, and I loved it. I love the weapons, I love the action, I love the graphical effects from the special like summons and stuff like that. Like, dude, that stuff is crazy. But from a story standpoint, what are you telling here? Like what is Smite all about? And in order to answer the question, it'd be my honor to put the belt on you. You know what I'm saying? You gotta hold the belt. All right? You gotta get it back. Let's go.
So first of all, it is all about multiplayer. So at the end of the day, it's a battleground of the gods, just like this belt. Like, you got to earn this belt by taking down another god, right? So at the end of the day, it's a core battle game at its heart. It's multiplayer. But the backdrop, which we're actually going to be releasing over this year, we can do a partnership with Dark Horse Comics. So actually, we're going to release about once a quarter, there'll be a comic that gives you just a little glimpse into the backstory. So I can't reveal too much, other than to say, you know, back in the day, you know, it was like Greek gods stood together, Norse gods, they stayed together, Chinese, Hindu, you had all these families of gods, right? But in the world of Smite, in the universe of Smite, there was a betrayal. There was a betrayal where a god from Greek mythology, he teamed up with another faction, and there was basically some you know, an assassination attempt, and that's what exploded, and all the old alliances broke down. So instead of like Greeks sticking with Greeks, they were crossing lines. So it's interesting, you know, it even applies to like current day, where you got these different geographies or people, and then it all starts to mix and new alliances take place. So anyway, that's basically like the backstory that we don't tell too much in the game, but we will in the comics and other things going forward.
I got two more questions for you, and I'm gonna wrap it up. All right, so the next question is, I see that this game is on console, and it has, now that's gonna make it a bigger, more mainstream thing. Now, in terms of Smite, what do you see in the future in terms of things that can be born out of this particular IP? Because a lot of times it takes one thing to blow up, and then a lot of other things come from it. You know what I'm saying? So what is your vision, or what's some of the things that you guys are discussing that can be continued and capitalized upon the birth of Smite?
Well, I'll say two things. The first is esports. You know, games like League of Legends and other games, they've shown that this idea of playing a game competitively and actually earning money, just like people do in sports, that is a real thing with video games. Like, that is here now. So actually last year with Smite, because we worked with the community, we sold items in the PC version, and some of that prize pool, some of that money that they bought, that went to fund a prize pool for a tournament in January. So in January, in Atlanta, Georgia, we had 8 teams from around the world come and play Smite. You know what the prize pool was for that?
What was that?
$2.6 million.
Get the for playing Smite, 2.6 million.
So the 5 guys that won, that was the whole event. So the winning team,
crazy.
The winning team, the average age, you know, maybe like 18 years old. Some of the kids as young as 15. The winning team took home half of that. So that was 1.3 million to 5 kids that each walked away with a check for more than, you know, 250. So yeah, it's not a bad gig. So esports is real.
Yo, yo, that's crazy. All right, last question. Well, hold up. We got more. All right, look. We gonna keep this rolling. I get excited, man. So, so the next question that I have now is now to the side. I know this is kind of crazy, but Nvidia just announced their new Shield, their Android TV console, the grill, all that stuff. Now, my thing is, they already announced that they got tons of partners, people building it, and they're excited. Randy Pitchford came out. It was crazy. What are your thoughts on that announcement, and can Smite have a life on Shield?
Well, I think Shield is going to be interesting, because there's a bunch of people competing in a space, you know, to be in the living room now, right? And they're one of them. Steambox is out there, right? Obviously Sony and Microsoft already got a leading advantage, so it's going to be interesting to see how things sort out. I think the main thing with Shield is, as long as it maps to that gamepad, then the game has an opportunity, as long as they, you know, partner up with Nvidia, because the performance of that box looks really, really encouraging. So it's still early, honestly. We'll get some in-house, and we'll see, is all I can say. But now that we brought it to Xbox, that at least opens up the possibility, because the game and the UI, they've got to work with the gamepad. That's the first thing. And so if it works with the gamepad, it performs pretty well, then that's the sort of thing that we'll take a look at. But right now we're excited because Xbox One is here, so it's going to allow Smite to be played in living rooms everywhere. So
I cannot wait to live stream Twitch. That joint is going to be fire. What question you had? Huh?
Okay, got it. So the question is there crossplay? So no, we looked a lot at that, and Microsoft is pushing that with their new kind of Xbox ecosystem with Windows 10 and Xbox. So the tech is there, but we've decided that we're not going to allow crossplay. We see them really, because it's a competitive game and it's a sport, the controls feel good on both platforms, but they're also different enough that we see it as two different things. So content will be basically equivalent. We won't have like a God or Goddess that's playable on PC that won't come to Xbox, but there won't be crossplay. The one thing we are doing, though, for anyone who's playing Smite on PC today, is when we get out of beta, we're going to allow people to do a one-time account copy. So say you've been playing Smite, you've already bought some gods, you bought some skins, you've unlocked some stuff. We're going to say, okay, you don't have to start from scratch. You can actually transfer all that for free, and then you can get started on the Xbox. And then from that point on, you're separate, but that really rewards people that have already been playing the game rather than them having to start from a blank slate. So.
Yo, crazy. Ty,
right,
I really
good, man.
appreciate you, man. So this is my man Ty, be talking Smite on the Xbox One, you know what I'm saying, coming soon. One love and God bless. Hip Hop Gamer, Hot 97 GameStop. Every day, that's my word. We out of here. Peace.
It's the hip hop gamer show. What it is, hip hop gamer.